Hi all, welcome to another video with me, Varun on Tech Tablet. In this video, we will be finally starting with the topic that's been much awaited, which is OData. Let us understand what OData is, how do we work on it, what is a project structure look like, uh, followed by what are the different elements involved in OData, what are the different methods. So I've prepared a list of topics. Let us, probably go through it. So we have an understanding of what is the agenda for today. So the the broader perspective is to understand what an OData service is. However, in this we'll be talking of the list of statements that are not to be used in ABAP. We'll also be talking of what is an OData service. We'll be looking at, we'll be understanding what is a project in SEGW and what are the four or, different folders involved in a project. Finally, what are the methods involved in OData service? So these are the things that we would be looking at. And once this video is complete, in the next video onwards, we can directly look at the practical part of how to work on an OData service, what it is, and yeah, different things involved. So firstly, we'll be talking of elements not to be used in ABAP, right? Now, we all know that, when it comes to ABAP programming, okay, not to be used in OData actually, which are used in ABAP. I think this is what I wanted to talk about. So, we cannot use elements like call screen, like we have numbers like call screen 001 or probably call screen 300 or, things like these. Um, that option you do not have. We also cannot use selection screen. I hope we all know what is uh, select screen. Then we have select option, which is also not usable. Okay. Then again, you have some system parameters like SY and ISEL. Okay, so different variants of system, variables are all not allowed, or we don't use these in OData service. Okay, like we also have another thing like call transaction. Call transaction is pretty often used in ABAP, but it is not very frequently used in any OData service. So these are few list of transactions or commands which we do not use in creating any OData service. However, now that the topic is understanding deeper into OData, let us quickly get into it. So firstly, this is the T code box. Welcome to the part where we finally would be creating an OData service. So when I use the transaction again, let me go back. So the T code is SEGW, right? Service Gateway Builder. So when I come here, you have an option that is to create a project, right? Now, when you create a project, again, we'll look at how, what are the different variants of creating a project. We'll look at, how to, use it, create it with a BAPI, how to create it without a BAPI. We look at all these, but we'll go step by step. Right now, we'll just create a basic project, a skeletal structure, just so we have an understanding. So here I'll name the project as Z YouTube video. Uh, I think video should be enough. Now I'll give a small description to it, like this is an explanation for sample project. I'll just name it something easy. Then package, you can either save it with a local package. I've also shown you how to create a package of your own. Okay, here I'm going with local. So now you see that this is the structure of a project in SEGW. Now you can also take a look at any other project that is already created by someone else. Here you see how we have the same four projects involved. However, if you notice, you see that here even in the second and the third folder, you have things which are running. Here we do not have it. Now why that is something we'll be looking at. So firstly, I have created a project with the name ZYT underscore video, and it has 4 folders. Now, what are these 4 folders? Let us, just talk about them a bit in detail. So, like you saw, here we have data model, service implementation. So we have data model, we have service implementation, right? Followed by runtime artifacts and service maintenance. Runtime artifacts and service maintenance, right? So these are the 4 folders that we have created, or that got created when you're creating a basic OData project. Now, let us have an understanding about each of these. So when you look at a data model basically has, the data that you would be using, right? Or the data that would be consumed, okay, just to keep it simple. Then the next one that you have is service implementation. Now, when you talk of service implementation, here you would be having the CRUD operations, that is create, read, update, delete. So here you can see you have create, you have read, you have read single, and you have read multiple. So you have a single read and multiple read. So this is again, I'm trying to keep the language very simple. Okay, so it's basically an entity and an entity set. But what happens is you can read one record or you can read multiple records, is the difference between read and query. So you have create, read, and you have update, and you have delete. So these are the operations that you would be able to do when you're working on service implementation. So here you have CRUD operations available, right? Then you have runtime artifacts. Now, runtime artifacts is the place where you have, let me just show you what it is like. So here in runtime artifacts, if you see, you have the model, you have service, DPC extension, MPC, and MPC extension. Now, I'll just, make note of this. You have DPC, you have DPC extension, you have MPC, followed by MPC extension. Then you have service, followed by model, right? So these are the 6 elements that you have within runtime artifacts. Now, what these are and how each of these works is something we'll be looking at in detail, probably at a later point of time. However, just to let you know the abbreviation, this is data provider class, this is model provider class. These are the extension models respectively. This is the service, this is the place where your service gets registered, and this is the model. Okay, now you have the service maintenance. Now this is the place where you go and so if you can see here, you have service maintenance. Now when you click on this, this is the place where your SAP gateway client would be accessible from. So now when I say yes, uh, allow, you can see you have the request here and you have the response on this side, and this is the link of the data or of the service that you're looking forward to use. All right, so this is what the service has, or the service maintenance basically is like the SAP gateway client. Now this is something that you need to activate. We look at how to do this as we go ahead. So first things first, when you create an OData model, okay, you have these 4 folders. 4 folders are created, okay, and the 4 folders are these respectively. All right, so I hope this part is clear and understood. Now we'll go into understanding the next part of the agenda, that is what are the different methods in OData service, and how do we work on each of them. Now I hope you have understood that this is how a model, or this is how a project is created. In the next video, we'll also be looking at how to add elements with BAPI and without BAPI. Probably, we'll create another project with the name ZYT Video 1, wherein in just YT video, we'll be looking at how to import a project using DDIC structure. And in YT video, we'll be looking at how to import a project using a BAPI, right? Having said this, now let us, just go ahead and see how to work on, what are the elements. Let me just, right. So now we would be, talking of the methods in OData service. Okay. Now you have three very important methods, right? So of these important methods, the one that we'll be using is update stream, right? The second one that we would be using after update stream would be get stream method. Finally, after update and get stream, you have execute action, right? Now, each of these again, has a different element that is present in them. Now, when do we use this? Okay, so update stream is basically used when you want to upload a file content, right? Then you have get stream. Get stream is used to download any file. Okay, obviously with the content. Okay, I don't think that it's to be said. Then this is used for uh, function imports, right? Now, like whenever you create a function and you're trying to use the function, now whenever you call the function, it triggers, the execute action triggers the function, and you would be having input and output that is generated. Now, within each of these, we have elements and methods, like you have IT key tab. Okay, these were not supposed to be printed in capitals. However, I think I mistyped key. Then you have is media resource. Okay, we look at what these are. Um, then again, in get stream method also we have IT uh, key tab, and we have underscore stream. Okay, and then finally you have the execute action method, in which you have IT underscore parameter, and you have IV underscore action underscore name. Okay, now each of these is used for input and output respectively. So here, if you can see this, captures the input. All right, and obviously this generates the output. So it captures, the input file content, and it gives you the file type from front-end application. So you would be getting it from the front-end application, right? Now this is to the front-end application. Okay, so now you might be having a question as to which is generated from where and which goes to which place. So this, IT key tab from update stream method, it captures, the input. How does it capture the input? Yeah, so you have this IT key tab which captures the input. Now, from where does it capture the input? It captures the input from 10. Okay. from front-end application. And this IS media resource, which also captures the file content. Now it gives again, it takes the file type from the front end again. Get stream method, which is on the other hand, it captures the input file name from the front end, and here this part it gives it to the front end. Okay, so this is where the difference is. Now in the execute action method, you have another element which was not covered. So firstly, let's talk about what an IT parameter is. Now both of these, now what they both do is, I mean, it's the same for each of them. They capture the function and input values respectively. Okay, so IT parameter, okay, IV action name, it captures the function, and IT parameter captures the input values, while you have another important element, which is ER underscore data. Now this captures the, okay, this captures the input and sends the output. I mean, after capturing the input, I think this is a much better way to put it. It sends the output. It is ER underscore data. So these are the methods that are very broadly involved when we talk of any OData service. Now what we'll do is, from or in the next video, let us firstly go ahead and understand how to create. So here, now that you have seen, we have already created a project, and this project, it has four folders, like you can see. Data model. Now we look at what is an entity type, an association, and an entity set in the next video, while we import elements, and we keep watching it live. And then we'll also see how to go ahead and create a service, like how to activate a service using service maintenance. So we'll be looking at all the four folders, each of them in detail, and we'll understand what is the role of each and every runtime artifact that is generated in these six. I mean, that is generated within the folder. We have six elements, right? DPC extension, MPC extension, SRV, and MDL. These are the list of things that we would be looking at in the upcoming video. So I hope you have understood. Now in the next video, like I said, we would be looking in detail about NSC GW data project. So yeah, I hope you have enjoyed watching, and if there's any queries, please use the chat box below, and I would be more than happy to assist you in any further queries. Thank you very much. You all have a good day.